What's going on? It's Chris and Emily from LifterLMS, and you know what day it is? It's Feature Friday, now on Tuesday. I'm going to have to change that joke up because it's getting a little old. I'll come up with a new one for the intro soon. But today we're going to be talking about an essential part of your website, which is the privacy policy for a learning management system website, and really any website where you're doing business and you have users registering on your site. It's important to have a proper privacy policy set up. We're going to show you how to set that up. We're going to show you how it displays when a user is enrolling in a course or a membership, so that they're essentially agreeing and they have a chance to go check it out and look at it. You're kind of like, hey, this is our privacy policy. Take a look if you're interested, because people care a lot about privacy. It also helps you with your SEO. Google and other search engines are going to rank you much higher if you have a proper privacy policy on your website. Recently, in the last Feature Friday, we did a couple Feature Fridays ago about terms and conditions. So the terms and conditions are different from the privacy policy. The privacy policy is about our promise to you, what we're going to do with your personal information. So if you're registering on our site, we have your name, we have your email address as obvious examples. If it's as a learning management system, we know which courses you're enrolled in, and we know how much money you spent and things like that. These are all part of, what needs to be considered in a proper privacy policy. We're going to show you how to implement it today. Over to you, Emily.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Chris. So a privacy policy in LifterLMS will appear on the checkout page. So whenever your students are purchasing a course or membership, they'll see when we scroll down, your personal data will be used to process your enrollment and support your experience as described in our privacy policy. If we click that link, we can see the little sample policy that WordPress gives us. And we have suggested in the past, and we do still suggest Termageddon as a great way to have your privacy policy be auto-generated, and you can just drop in a short code on this page. It will update over time, and it works for most businesses on the web, especially course and memberships that are serving general audiences. But you can also just edit this page and come up with a privacy policy yourself, what you want to disclose in your privacy policy. This isn't legal advice, but you really want to tell people what you are doing with their data. And for that to work, you got to know what hosting provider you're on. You got to know where they're sending your data. You have to add your CRM, just disclose to your customers everything you're going to be doing with the data they're giving you on their website, about their addresses, their credit cards, who's involved, who has access to your data, what businesses, all that kind of stuff. And the message that LifterLMS provides is your personal data will be used to process your enrollment. If we jump to the back end of WordPress and go to LifterLMS settings and then accounts at the top, we can scroll down and we can modify what that says. So for privacy policy settings, we can select the page that our privacy policy is if we change it or something like that. Usually there's not going to be a need to change it. You just keep it as the default and update the default message. But you can also change the notice that appears. Your personal data will be used to process your enrollment, support your experience on this website. If you want to add anything more specific, like, we are GDPR compliant, something like that. And you don't want to say this unless it's true, but you can say things like this to help customers know that their data is going to be stored properly and that they're not going to be exploited. So we are GDPR compliant is now appearing there. So it's a super easy thing to swap out the text in your privacy policy. And there might be things that you specifically want to add. If there's anything like you're collecting phone numbers or other sensitive information specifically, just having that in your little privacy policy message might be useful on checkout. But that's about it for the LifterLMS privacy policy settings. Chris, did you think of an interesting curveball for this one?
I do have one for you, and I just want to say it's It's important. I mean, this is really easy to set up, as Emily was just demonstrating, but it's really important to have this page. And I know when people are just getting started, sometimes you're not wanting to spend money on a lawyer to get going. Eventually, once your business gets traction, you may want to spend money with a lawyer, use something like Termageddon. You can go check out the LifterLMS privacy policy on our website at lifterlms.com, which we did do with a lawyer, and see that AI tools can be helpful to kind of get started and start figuring out what you want in your privacy policy based on the unique situations in your business. But it is very important to your business, and we can't provide financial or legal advice, but this is an important aspect of not just your website, but your online education company. The curveball's coming. I thought it would be cool to for you to show us, Emily, in your demo. It's recommended that a privacy policy is permanently kind of on the bottom in the footer of your website. I think we may already have that on your demo, but if you could show us how to get to that and edit that link and potentially add another one. Like, for example, on LifterLMS, we have a third link down there. There's terms of use, privacy policy, and then we also have the trademark policy, which means the public's rights to use our name and logo and stuff like that. What are the rules around that? So maybe if you could show us how to get into the footer of a website. We're using the SkyPilot theme, which is a full site editing theme. Maybe add an additional trademark policy link down there and show people how to get to that. Because like I said, Google and other search engines will give your website more value and rank you higher if you're properly communicating that you have a terms of use and privacy policy.
Yeah, so jumping back into the site, if I go to the front end, let's see what I have in my footer now. So looks like I do have privacy policy and terms of use here. And like Chris said, we're using the SkyPilot theme, so we're going to be using full site editing to modify this. What we're going to do is head to the back end of the website and then go to Appearance Editor, and this will be theme dependent. If you're an Astra, it's going to be a little bit different. But yeah, let this load, and then our footer can be edited a couple of different ways. I think that the little patterns area and then footer is going to be the fastest way to get there. We can click on this. This is the footer that we see on the homepage of the website. We can click into here, look at the navigation, and see everything going on. As I hover over, you can see the little blue boxes. The privacy policy and terms of use, they're a part of a little navigation item over here. So let's see, privacy policy, terms of use, and now we're going to do a trademark policy. So to add a trademark policy, the first thing we need to do is create that as a page. Before we can add it to the footer, let's make a page. So we go to Pages, Add New, Trademark Policy, Publish. And so, like I said, trademark policies outline how people can use your brand, stuff like that. But now that our page is created, let's reload our footer section and insert the trademark policy into the footer. And navigation, big group, columns. It is the navigation column here, the navigation block. Let's open this up with our little right-hand editor. Go to the navigation widget, add a little block. Let's do a page link. And this one is trademark policy that we want to add. You can also do a custom link too, if you have a custom URL to a third-party website or even to your own website. So we've updated our little menu. And now, if we reload, we should see trademark policy is here in our footer. We can click on this. It's going to be completely blank right now, but this is where you can come fill out that content. So you have a third policy as a part of your website. That's the trademark policy.
Awesome. Good job. So that's how you work with your privacy policy on your website and how to get into the kind of nitty gritty of the footer of your website and add it down there, which we highly recommend you do if you haven't done that yet. And also making sure it's set up correctly in the LifterLMS account settings so that people are seeing that. on checkout. That's it for this Feature Friday. I hope you enjoyed it. Smash the like button, drop a comment, tell your friends, let us know what video you'd like for us to make for you next. And I hope you have a great rest of your day. Take care.